So my name is Allenfall. I'm CEO of Follicum. And Follicum is a small company based in Lund in the south of Sweden. It's a spin-out from the university, so we have a close collaboration with the university and the founders still. The company was listed on Spotlight, former Aktiestorget, in November 2014, and we have two products in our pipeline. One is hair growth, and that is where on that subject was the company founded. And the other one is a recent addition to our pipeline. It's in diabetes. We are working with peptides on our own molecules, you can say. The peptides are coming from our endogenous proteins, although the hair growth project is a modified version of osteopontin, and the other one in diabetes is still undisclosed. We have some milestones during 2018. We have achieved already diabetes update. We filed a patent in May. And we have also now completed recruitment, and also the last patient has received its treatment in the ongoing phase 2 study in Germany. And this hair growth product that we have in clinical development is a peptide, and we have used injections so far in the study. But if the ongoing study will show positive effects, we will switch to a topical formulation. That's for more convenience and easy to use. So the formulation is a great achievement. It is a peptide. Peptides are normally unstable, and we have successfully been able to make a stable topical formulation that you can apply on your scalp. Very convenient, and hopefully that will show effect in later clinical trials. But that's still to come, and the readout of the current trial we expect during the fall before Christmas. And that is a very important milestone for the company, obviously. By the end of the year, or around year end, we will select a candidate in our diabetes project. So, as I said, we are a virtual company. We are only 4 people working in the company, but altogether we have over 100 years of experience. We have research, we have commercial, we have product development experience. So we cover a lot of different disciplines in drug development, but we outsource a lot. So we have collaboration with university and several academia in the world, but also we are using consultants and CROs for the rest of the work. So we cherry pick the expertise in the field. So we first look on hair growth, and some of you may be aware of hair growth, and that can be a problem, especially for men, but a lot of women also can have hair loss. And we are talking about the normal, let's say, the androgenetic alopecia. You have other forms of hair loss also. But here we are focusing on the most common form of hair loss. A lot of men will suffer from hair loss during the aging. And there are actually only 2 products on the market that you can use. One is an OTC product, it's called Rogaine, and the other one is a tablet. You have to have a prescription. So Rogaine, both men and women can use, and the other one, Propecia finasteride, is only suitable for men or postmenopausal women because it's a hormone product. But the products are old, they're off patent, and the efficacy is not that great. And you have to be very consistent to use them. If you stop using it, you will lose the hair. And obviously, our appearance is very important for our self-esteem and self-confidence. So this is a great market. Only those 2 products have a very high sale. So if you look at the approved products on the market, as I said, globally there are only 2 products out there. Their market share is over $3 billion. But if you look on supplements, or if you look on shampoos or anything in this, it's almost 10 times as big. So people are keen to keep their hair. If you look at the pipeline, there are not many products in the pipeline. So we have very low competition should our product be successful, both on the pipeline side but also on the market side. So we think that there is a great upside for our product in the hair growth field. So what we like to achieve is an effective product that both men and women can use. And we would like to be in the same order as minoxidil or Rogaine. We would like to have a very high number of responders, unlike minoxidil. They have a very low number of responders. And we hope with our new topical formulation to be able to have a less frequent administration, so it's not so cumbersome. Rogaine you have to use 2 times daily, in morning and evening. And we hope at least, or less than one, or once daily or less than that. What we have achieved so far is our first phase 1, phase 2A study. It was a combined study performed in Berlin at the Charité Hospital. And that study was performed on hairy men's legs. And we studied the hair growth potential on the legs, and we saw an increase in hair growth in this study. And the current study is a phase 2 study going on also in Charité in Berlin, but also in Hamburg. And this study actually is focusing on scalp. And as I said, this is also in injections, so we are using 3-needle injection system. You can see a picture here below. We have identified 2 sites on the scalp. This is the so-called mini-zone study. So we identified the 2 zones on the head of alopecia patients. They should be as similar as possible, and then we randomized to either placebo or one of 4 different doses of our product. So one patient can have 1 placebo and 1 dose, or 2 doses. So far, the 60 patients have been recruited in the study, and now the data collection, quality is going on, and the analysis will be performed during the coming months. And what we look for in this study is efficacy, you can say, but also safety. So we look on number of hairs, we look on the hairs in growth phase or in the resting phase, we look on hair length and so on. So various, data on hair growth will be collected in this study. But this is injection. So the next study, if this will be successful, will be on a topical product. So this product that we developed actually targets hair follicles. So you can think of a hair follicle like a funnel with an opening to the skin. So we have shown here in our study that actually our formulation goes into the hair follicle, and then the compound will be distributed into the skin and the hair follicle where we affect the cells. So this have shown already very good profile in terms of stability and penetration into skin. So the next stage will be to perform a clinical trial with this. So during our mode of action studies with this, because this is a serendipity finding, we included beta cells in our controls, and to our surprise we could see that our peptides or similar peptides could release insulin very potently from these cells. So that's why we have opened up a new field, diabetes, and I don't need to spend so much time on the market. Diabetes is a huge problem, and there are many people in the world suffering from diabetes. There are also a lot of different products on the market, and many of them are very good. So we have 2 classes of peptides coming from ourselves. One is osteopontin derived, and the other one is protein X. And right now we are screening these peptide variants in order to find a good peptide for further investigations in our preclinical models. And just to tease you with some of the findings we have so far is that the left side, you can see autoradiogram where we have given a radio-labeled peptide to mice. You can see the uptake in pancreas. So this peptide specifically goes to the pancreas where the beta cells are located, and to the right you can see an islet in pancreas stained with our peptide. So all the red is our peptide, so it locates to the beta cells in the Langerhans islets in the pancreas. So we hope that this peptide could actually be interesting to develop. And how about in vivo performance? So this is an IP glucose tolerance test, and we have shown with 2 doses that we can actually significantly lower blood glucose. And in our preclinical experiments using cell lines or isolated islets, we are as good as the current GLP analogs on the market. So we hope that this could be something for the future. But nevertheless, it's not sufficient to bring a product on the market having the same insulin secreting levels as the current medications. We need to have something more. We need to differentiate the project. So here is another in vivo model. So this is a rat model. It's a type 1 model. So the rats get type 1 diabetes around day 50 to 65. So all the beta cells will be destroyed, and there will be accumulation of hyaluronic acid in the pancreas. So all the insulin, their own insulin production will stop, and the blood glucose level will go up into the ceiling. So we have in this study administered our peptide 3 times a week with very low doses, and we can see that we can delay the onset of type 1 diabetes. So here is a very interesting model that we will now continue to investigate to try to find how this peptide works. Not only does it release insulin, but somehow it can protect the beta cells. So if this is anti-inflammatory or it has some other effects, we will continue to do that now. So now we are screening molecules, we are doing in vivo models, we are trying to differentiate and look for other beneficial effects of our peptides. And the aim is to select a peptide sometime around year end for further preclinical development. And this is very important for us to be in a very large consortium. So this is a research consortium financed by the Swedish government, where we have industry partners and where we have dedicated diabetic scientists in Lund University. So there are over 300 scientists in this part, and we are also part in a couple of the work packages here. And their overall goal for this project is to find new therapies, to find biomarkers, to find also ways of classifying different diabetes patients and do precision medicine to tailor-made the treatments that are available for both type 1 and type 2. So we are here, we are the steering committee, so we're right in the middle of a huge network of both industry and scientists. And as I said, we were listed November 2014, and so far 11 million euro around have been invested in Follicum, and we are a very lean organization, and we have always delivered on time. And this is the last slide, and just to try also to connect the 2 indications, because people are thinking, how can you work with hair growth and diabetes? They are so totally different indications. But actually there's a biological connection. Hair follicles, they need insulin to be able to grow, so they use insulin like a growth factor. And on the contrary, actually a couple of years ago there was a type 1 diabetes medication, it's still on the market but not so much used, for children. And when they took that medication, they got very hairy on the bodies. So there are a connection between the 2 indications, and there are the same ion channels, and they share a lot of different things. So we hope that we can explain the biology a little bit more in the future. And I hope that I have given you some teases and not confused you about hair growth and diabetes. And thank you so much for your attention.